That's why I'm not calling you just to chat. I'm calling you for your legal understanding, because I wouldn't waste your time.
If the CDC had a nationwide mandatory flu vaccine requirement, and you would have to take that up with the federal authorities, and our exemption forms would have nothing to do with it. Those are state forms based on state law.
So I need a federal.
Yeah,
I need a federal exemption form. These state forms I'm wasting my time with.
Yeah, the state form would do no good if the CDC somehow mandated nationally
an emergency.
Right.
Because you know we're under a CDC, we're under a Health Services declared anthrax emergency as we speak. It's been going on for a long time now.
Well,
Did you know that?
Anthrax is out there. Yeah.
So, but we're under an emergency, so they have the capability right now of doing that.
Now,
so,
as far as I know, there's the mandating vaccines has always been a state function. Doesn't mean that the feds couldn't do it, but to my knowledge, the federal government is not. They recommend to states to. They recommend to states what vaccines the states should mandate.
Okay, well, in the wording of that's on the webpage, CDC webpage, there will be.
Now, if the CDC mandated it, then that's something you'd have to take up with the federal government.
That's interesting.
If Arkansas did it, it could do it in two different ways.
Okay.
One is the State Board of Health could mandate the vaccine. Okay. Under its very broad authorities to protect the public health.
Okay.
The other way is the state legislature could mandate it. Now, in either of those things, if either of those were to occur,
an emergency, which they could.
It's doubtful that there would be an exemption clause, because what the idea is behind vaccines is you want herd immunity.
Yeah, well, I'm not part of a herd. Cows are part of a herd. I'm a person. So that's what we need to get back on the table.
You're part of society, and you are.
Yeah, but I'm not a cow. So that's what we need to.
You were a cow.
No, but you call it, said herd.
Herd immunity is.
That's cattle.
That is the medical term for what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do. I'm not trying to make you a cow.
Oh, I know. I won't be made one.
But that's what it's termed. But the idea is you have to get enough people vaccinated to protect all.
Yeah, except the vaccines are deadly. That's a problem that I have. You can't go there.
There are people who believe that, and
there's 18 different countries that believe it right now because it happened. It's not it's not a theory.
Well, but nobody. You're not giving any credit whatsoever to the lives that are saved by the vaccines.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen The Mask, but him and his wife, the guy that's the comedian that's in that, he has a little bit of an issue with it too because his kid's got autism now. So.
Well, there are lots of claims that the vaccines cause autism.
Yeah, and none of those. See, the issue that I have, none of those are shared with anybody, even on the information that you share. When you have people sign on that they understand that not taking a vaccine is dangerous, they don't.
But you would have to point to a credible.
That's credible.
Credible scientific research about how autism is caused by.
Well, I'm not trying to convince you because that's not going to help anyway. So that's more of a. I'm just trying to find out how I can legally protect myself because I see it coming whether anybody else does or not.
For one, there's nothing you can do right now. Well, I guess there are two things you can do. If you're worried that it is coming, then all you can do is contact your representatives and senators on the national, and state level.
You ever tried to do that? Yeah, I've been trying to contact them for about 3 years now. Yeah, they hear a lot of stuff. Okay, that's one. That's one. What's the other one?
That's it. I mean.
So you're telling me to contact my senator?
Contact your state and national, federal senators and representatives, because it would be up to them to insert an exemption for philosophical or religious reasons.
To insert an exemption. Now, the exemption is, well, I won't argue.
Okay. I can tell you that the law is clear. Absent an exemption being granted by the legislature,
So now an exemption has to be granted. It's not an exemption that one claims. It's an exemption that is granted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've gone a long way from that. Okay.
No,
Very good. I appreciate what you're telling me because it's good information that I can work with.
Law for 100 years or more.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just a fact.
Yeah, but people that don't accept needles as, livelihood have a right to refuse that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, well, I'll get on with them and I'll do some more research. But
all I can tell you is that's your. I mean, it's either they grant the exemption,
or they don't.
Or if they don't, then your only recourse is to go to court to claim that that you have this right.
Yeah.
That you believe you have, which is I understand the concept. I understand where you're coming from because I handled these types of lawsuits when people challenged our immunization requirements for schools.
Yeah.
And I know exactly how you feel.
Well, now you can't even the companies can no longer be held liable. So, and that's that's been a blanket thing now that they can't be held liable. And
they pay into a fund, and there's a fund available to take care of problems.
Well, the law said they can't be held liable anymore, so that's just changed recently.
But they pay into a fund, and that fund is used to compensate people who might have an adverse reaction to the vaccine.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, thank you very much for the information. I do appreciate that. I'm just trying to.
Really, you ought to look into the constitutional issues. I mean, because it sounds like you're interested in that.
Well, that's just one of many things, but.
What Jacobson versus Massachusetts was a case about an individual who refused to get the smallpox vaccine.
Okay, well, there is, through FEMA, there are current, in counties, practicing to inoculate the entire population of counties within 48 hours of an emergency call. So that is out there.
Oh, we do it here. We've run mass flu clinics in Arkansas.
Yeah, that's on.
Years.
Yeah, that's on volunteer. That's I appreciate I appreciate it all being supplied to people who want it. I just don't want when it crosses the bounds of them telling me that I have to have it. That's where I need to protect myself legally. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but the problem is there are people who the vaccines don't have any effect on them. And there are people who are medically contraindicated that can't get the vaccine.
Yeah.
So the idea is, if you allowed people just to opt out, you wouldn't have enough of herd immunity. You wouldn't have enough to protect everybody.
Yeah, that's quite a concept. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, thank you very much. I do appreciate it, really.
You have a good day, sir.
Will do. You too.